Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the two-game early slate as well as the three-game main slate here for the NBA preseason on Sunday. A couple things before I get into the video. One, we're over 1.1 thousand subscribers. Thank you guys all so much. Also, congrats to all the guys who have been making a lot of money here in the NBA preseason. We've been doing really well. A couple of guys even won GPPs here on Friday. $6,000. Some really big GPPs. So congrats to you guys. I'm glad I could help. Making some money here. And then two, I'm doing a weekly giveaway on this channel. All you have to do is leave a like and a comment. That's one entry into the giveaway. Max one comment, though, per video. And then it starts with my Monday night video at the beginning of the week, goes throughout the week, ends in my Monday night video that I'll have up tomorrow. And then, so however many videos up for the week, you can enter it that many times. So say if I have 10 videos up for the week, you can enter it 10 times. And then the winner receives a $20 PayPal from myself. With that out of the way, let's jump into it. So first, let's look at the two-game early slate here with the Cavs, Celtics, as well as the Pelicans, Spurs. We'll start with center again. Zion at the top here at 8.5K. I definitely, if I'm game stacking between these two games, I definitely prefer Pelicans, Spurs. You guys have heard me say it a few times now. The Pelicans just play at such a fast pace that, really it's good for them as well as the team they're playing. So definitely, if I'm stacking a game, I'm going to lean towards this later one. But yeah, Zion at the top at 8.5K. I think the minutes are going to be pretty secure. Starters probably going to get 25-ish or so minutes. And again, they just play at such a fast pace. So Zion seems really safe to spend up. Aldridge too. So I was looking at the Spurs' third preseason game last year, and the starters actually got some good run. Well, some of them did. DeRozan got 33, Rudy Gay got 25, Aldridge got 27, and then it was kind of spread out from there. So I think a few of these Spurs guys will get some decent run, and again, the matchup is really, really good. So, I think this is where I hop on the Spurs, actually, or some of them, some of the main guys here, like Aldridge at 7.1K, do really like him. If we look to the Cavs, Kevin Love played limited minutes, 14 minutes in that first game, 15 minutes. The concern is obviously he's a veteran, so they're just going to limit his minutes. I think I would lean towards playing Larry Nance Jr. over him. I think the minutes will be a little bit higher, and he's just a guy that can fill up the stat sheet. In 29 minutes, had 6 points, 11 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal. So I like playing those type of players. I think if I'm picking between the two, I'm going to lean towards Nance, unless we hear that Kevin Love's going to play solid minutes. Melly at 5.3K is okay. Tristan Thompson actually played some decent minutes at 5.2K. Played 26 minutes. So if he's going to play that type of minutes again, I think he's a solid mid-tier play. And then the Boston centers, I think if I'm going to pick one, again, I'm going to lean towards Cantor. No, he didn't. I know he didn't do that good in that first game. I think he had 2 points, 2 assists, 8 boards. But he was like 1 of 8 shooting in 18 minutes. He's going to be, the preferred center for myself here at 4.4K. I think he's too cheap. And again, he can crush in limited time. Derek Favors at 5K, a little undecided. So he played 11 minutes in the first preseason game of the season, then played 22, and then played 11 again. So he's kind of been back and forth in the minutes-wise. Obviously there's risk that he only plays like 10, 11 minutes. But if he plays 22 minutes, then I'm going to consider him. So again, we're probably not going to get that news. There's definitely risk there with Derek Favors. Daniel Tice, don't hate him. Pick up the start last time out. Again, if I'm going to lean towards a Boston center, though, I think it's going to be Enes Kanter. Okafor sat out that last game. I think I was dealing with a knee injury. If he's going to play in this one, I would like him as a value play. So again, that's the situation we have to monitor. Jakob Poeltl, 4.2K is too cheap. Most likely going to pick up the start at center, probably play 15 to 20 minutes. Again, it's a really solid matchup, so I think he's one of the better value plays of the day. And that's basically it for center. So let's move on to power forward. We already went over basically all these guys. Jason Tatum of 6.5K, I think solid. If Kemba Walker misses, then that obviously be a boost to all those other Boston wings. So I would prefer, I would lean towards going with Tatum if Kemba Walker misses. Brandon Ingram at 5.6K, I think is a little too cheap. Again, the Pelicans just want to play at such a fast pace, so don't hate Ingram there in the mid-range. DeMar Carroll probably wouldn't go there. Again, I think I'm kind of targeting the main guys for the Spurs. Rudy Gay, same thing. I think he's okay. Again, the matchup's really good, but I'm probably going to lean towards guys like Aldridge, DeRozan, DeJounte Murray. C.D. Osman at 4.4K, I think solid value play. Played in the mid-20s minutes in their last preseason game, so he's definitely in play. Let's see. So Trey Lyles has sat out the last couple of games due to rest. He would be a Spur that I would consider taking a shot on at mid-price if he plays. just because he's a guy that can get you their block steals, doesn't necessarily have to play a whole lot of minutes to get fantasy points. So I would consider him if he's going to be active in this one. I think that's basically it. So let's move on to small forward. Small forward again, DeRozan, I like him at the top. This is where I think I hop on those main Spurs with Aldridge, DeRozan, DeJounte Murray. So I do like DeRozan as a spend up at 6.9K. Tatum, again, is solid. If I'm picking between the two, I'm going to lean towards DeRozan. Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, these are guys that I would consider if Kemba misses. If Kemba plays, they're just okay. Boston's is a team I never get too excited about for DFS because they're a really, really balanced team. Let's see. Other options, again, I already talked about C.D. Osman. I think it's pretty solid at 4.4K. Josh Hart, we saw the low floor in that last game, right? Like if he's not knocking down threes, it's going to really hurt you. So I think I'm going to lean towards playing a guy like Alexander Walker over Josh Hart. Lonnie Walker, I want to go there. You only played 11 minutes, though. Again, I think the minutes will be solid for the starters, and then the rest of the guys will see very limited action. It'll just be very spread out with the rest of the end of the bench. So I'm torn. Like, I know the upside's there in Lonnie Walker. Maybe I'll take a shot. If he gets 15 or 20 minutes, I mean, he can definitely crush. So I'm a little undecided on Lonnie Walker. If he gets some minutes, I think he can crush. That's basically it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Shooting guard Drew at the top at 7.5K. Sat at the last game they said his quadriceps, but I'm pretty sure it's due to rest. I think he's going to be good to go in this one. I think he's a pretty solid spend up. Colin Sexton at 5.8K had a pretty good game in that first preseason game. In 26 minutes, had 24 points, 4 boards, 2 assists. The problem with him is he's very scoring dependent for a point guard. Not really a guy that fills up the stat sheet too much. So that's the concern, but he's a younger guy. I think he plays decent minutes, so I think he's definitely solid in the mid-range. Derek White, I do like a good amount of Spurs, like DeJounte Murray, Aldridge, DeRozan. I think Derek White and Jakob Poeltl as well. So there's a lot of Spurs I do have interest in. It's just a matter of how many do I want in my lineup. So, I think Derek White is solid here. Again, the matchup's really good. It's just how many Spurs do you really want to plug into your lineup. Clarkson would be a guy coming off the bench. He's going to be aggressive, probably play 20, maybe 25 minutes, so don't mind him. Alexander Walker here, again, I think he's the preferred target just because he's going to be super aggressive. We saw it last game too. 22 points, 4 assists, 2 boards in 16 minutes, and only 16 minutes. So he's a guy that doesn't necessarily need minutes to crush. So, I think he's a really solid play there at 4.9K. And I think that's really it. Yeah, so let's move on to point guard. Point guard Kemba, if he plays, I think he's okay. I think I would prefer, a couple other spend ups, but he's solid if he plays. Again, he's coming back from the knee injuries that does worry me a bit. Already talked about Drew. Lonzo, I like at 6.2K. Again, he's knocking down threes this year, so that's dangerous for Lonzo. And again, he doesn't necessarily have to score to get your fantasy points, so I like him a good amount there at 6.2K. DeJounte Murray, same thing at 5.9K. It's really him. It's DeRozan, Aldridge, Jakob Poeltl. I think are the main targets for me for the Spurs, and it's just such a good matchup. So I definitely think it's viable to pair both Lonzo Ball and DeJounte Murray together. Again, I already talked about Alexander Walker. I like him a good amount. Frank Jackson, too, played some decent minutes. And, he does have some upsides. I don't hate him there at 4.6K. And that's basically it for this early slate. So let's move on to the 3-game late slate, or main slate, I guess. So we will start with center. And Embiid at the top at 8.5K. Has rested the last couple of games. They're really limiting his minutes. So this is a situation we have to monitor. If he misses again, that would be a boost to guys like Ben Simmons, Horford, Tobias Harris. If he plays, I think the upside is there, but I don't necessarily know if the minutes will be there. So again, that's the situation I have to monitor. Siakam, we got news that Marc Gasol is going to be resting Sunday's game. So guys like Siakam, guys like Ibaka, guys like Boucher all get a pretty big boost. I like all 3 bigs here for Toronto. The matchup's pretty good here against the Bulls too. So I think Siakam's a really solid spend up here. Vucevic missed that last game with an ankle injury. We don't know if he's going to go or not. Again, this is another situation we have to monitor. If he plays, you could give a look to him. I'm just worried again coming back from the ankle injury. If he misses, then we could look to guys like Mo Bamba, but Mo Bamba's been kind of on a minutes limit himself. So again, a situation you have to monitor. The Chicago guys, they're still listed as out right now, but they're going to be active for this one, most likely. They just all missed because of rest. So Laurie at 6.8K, I think solid. Thomas Bryant's just a little too underpriced right now. Probably going to play close to 25 minutes and have a matchup with like Brook Lopez, who's not the best defender at all. So yeah, I like the upside here. Thomas Bryant, I think he's too cheap. He's had a double-double the first couple of preseason games, so yeah, I think he's a really solid value play. Horford, I would go to him for sure if Embiid misses. We saw the upside with him in that last game in 22 minutes, 11 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. A guy that fills up the stat sheet. You can even go to him if Embiid plays. I like that price in Al Horford. Mo Bamba, again, he's been on a minutes limit the last few games, but still can fill it up. In 18 minutes, he got 6 points, 7 boards, 2 blocks. So I wouldn't hate going there, but I would like it if the minutes restriction was lifted. Again, no Marc Gasol. That's pretty big news. The value guys for Chicago, don't think I want to go there with, most likely Markin coming back, as well as possibly Wendell Carter Jr. coming back too, is listed as probable. So Wendell Carter Jr., if he plays, don't hate it. I just don't know if the minutes will be there. And Ibaka is way too cheap at 4.6K. I really like a lot of these Toronto bigs. No Marc Gasol. I assume Ibaka plays 20, 25-ish minutes. Yeah, that's just way too cheap for Ibaka. Again, Gafford was a guy that I talked about in the last video. He crushed it for people. I think this might be where I hop off. I mean, I still think minutes will be okay, but not as much as we saw in that last game. And then Chris Boucher, I really like his value play as well. He's a guy that doesn't need minutes to get you there. Like, he can get you there in 15 to 20 minutes, which I think he got 17 or 18 minutes when Marc Gasol missed in the first preseason game, and he can just crush. He's a guy that is always super aggressive on offense when he's out there. So I really like Chris Boucher as well as a value play. And I think probably the ideal build right now is to just plug in Ibaka and Boucher together as cheap value plays. Kyle Quinn would be a guy I could go to if Embiid misses. So that, again, this is a situation we have to monitor. Kem Birch, you could look there. If Vucevic misses, he'd back up Mo Bamba. And then Ilya Silva, don't hate it either. Probably going to be coming out the bench. He can get you there in like 15 or so minutes. And Mo Wagner, most likely going to be coming out the bench as well, but I don't hate that. And that's kind of it. So let's move on to power forward. Power forward, I think it's pretty easy. You just plug in Giannis and move on. He's just got the most upside by far of anyone. The matchup's great. No one in Washington can stay with him. So, yeah, love Siakam here. Aaron Gordon at 7.1K I think is okay. We'll get a little bit of boost if Vucevic misses, but the matchup's tough. Philadelphia, long, lengthy team, pretty solid on defense. So that's a concern, is the matchup's pretty tough here. Tobias in a revenge game narrative, don't hate that at 6.3K. If Embiid misses, that's obviously a lot of usage to go around. So, yeah, I think he'd be pretty solid. Otto Porter Jr., I just think is okay in the mid-range. Isaac, the price dropped on him a bit. Again, if Vucevic misses, that would be a slight boost to him. Hachimura sat out the last game due to rest. He's a guy that's been starting and been playing like 20 to 25-ish minutes. I think he's priced pretty fairly. Other options. Dragan Bender's actually been pretty solid in limited minutes. First couple of preseason games here. In 15 minutes, he had 11 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. And then in, he played like 15 to 20 minutes in this game, I think. He had 17 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, 2 block shots. So he's the guy that's been playing pretty well, and the matchup's good here. So don't hate Dragan Bender either as a cheap option. Again, I already talked about Chris Boucher, Ibaka. Those guys are way too cheap. But that's basically it. So let's move on to small forward. Small forward again, Giannis. I think he's just a plug and play. Ben Simmons, really like him as well. If Embiid misses, that would be a big boost to him. Middleton's okay. With no Bledsoe, that is a lot of usage to go around, but I would just prefer spending the extra 2K for Giannis. But you can definitely play both if you want to. Wouldn't hate doing that. Josh Richardson, too, at 5.8K, I think is pretty solid. Obviously if Embiid misses, him, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Al Horford all get a huge boost. If Embiid plays, I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed with those 5 guys, but yeah, like I said, I would prefer him if Embiid misses. Other options, there's really not a whole lot here. I mean, Hollis Jefferson might get a little extra run with no Marc Gasol, but I'm going to prefer going with Boucher and Ibaka. Pat Connaughton actually at 4.1K I think solid. Started and played close to 20 minutes, and the match was pretty solid here. I think he'll probably start again. He's a guy that doesn't necessarily have to score to get you fancy points and get you there in blocks, steals, rebounds, assists. So I kind of like him as a value play. And I think that's about it. So let's move on to shooting guard. Shooting guard, so Beal rested the first game and then only played in the first half in that second game. So obviously there's concern with the minutes with him. If he's going to play normal minutes, like 25 or so minutes, I would like him a lot. But again, the concern is that they've been, really limiting his minutes. Levine's a guy that when he's going to be out there is going to shoot the ball a ton at 7.4K. I think he's priced pretty fair. Terrence Ross at the bench, I just don't think I want to go there. Again, he's very scoring dependent. He did get you there last game. I think he had like 21 points, but only like 2 rebounds was his stat line. So I just never play scoring dependent guys. Fred VanVleet would be one of the top value plays if Kyle Lowry misses. So that's a situation we have to monitor. VanVleet's been starting last couple games, no Kyle Lowry. So I think it'd be one of the best value plays if Kyle Lowry misses. Santa Ransky, again, they have him listed out, but I assume all those guys are going to be back. He would probably be the preferred target for those Bulls point guards with him, Chris Dunn, and Kobe White. So yeah, I wouldn't mind going there either in the mid-range. Kobe White and Chris Dunn, those two guys were I was on with, all those guys being out. With everyone most likely back here, I think they're both just okay. Let's see, DiVincenzo would be another value guy. Probably going to play 20 or so minutes. The matchup's solid, so don't mind him either. I think it's really Giannis for me at the top, obviously. You could go Middleton if you want to, and then the value guys being DiVincenzo and Connaughton, on the Milwaukee side at least. Fournier listed as questionable. That's a situation we have to monitor. That's kind of it. And so Fournier misses. They've been starting MCW, and then like Markelle Fultz will probably get a little extra run. So again, that's the situation we have to monitor. Point guard, we already talked about a couple of these guys. Lowry at 6.6K has missed the last couple of games. He's questionable. If he plays, I wouldn't mind him at all. So again, that's the situation to monitor. If he misses, VanVleet would be a very, very good value play. No Bledsoe. Already talked about these guys. Trey Burke didn't get as much run as I thought he would. Don't think we can go there. That's really it. We've already gone over most of these guys. George Hill played at the start. Didn't play that many minutes, but a 4.3K. That's a pretty solid price tag for him. Same thing with Ish Smith. Not a guy that is huge upside, but will probably start again and play close to 20 minutes. And that's kind of it, guys. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I will not be able to live stream for this the 2-game slate as well as the 3-game slate tomorrow. Got personal stuff going on, so will not be able to live stream. I apologize for that, but I will try to be as active as I can on Twitter. So with that being said, again, thank you guys all so much for coming to check out the video. If you want to get entered into the giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. And yeah, I will be back for another video. I think we got some games, some NBA games on Monday. So I will see you guys then.